just wanted to thank Sherelle and Toby for the breakfast as well.
All right, yeah. What a deal.
Nice hot breakfast for a change. And before we introduce our guest speaker, Richard Frior, I have a couple of announcements he wants to make.
Good morning, everybody. Nice hot Miami morning out there today. Perhaps some of you have read in the Jerusalem magazine the article called Good Vibrations. I went to college with Chuck Milgram, University of Chicago, who is a surgeon at Hadassah Hospital, orthopedic surgeon. And he said to me about 6 years ago, Richard, I'm going to get into a startup company. And lo and behold, this Innovatech company is setting the stock market on fire. Their innovations are going to result in the production of electricity by just putting sensors and generators underneath the roads and the railroads and so forth. Let me pass around this article and keep your eye on Innovatech. Very exciting. These Israelis are unstoppable. The Israelis. So Charles Milgram got interested in this from orthopedic surgery, and lo and behold, here's something that's going to change the way we live. So I'll send that magazine around and keep your eyes open for further developments. Next, the rallies that have been held weekly at the Federal Building in Fort Lauderdale are growing. The last rally on December 30th got 300 plus people out, and we heard great speeches from about a dozen politicians. So look up on your computer defendjerusalem.net, and you'll learn more about that. Finally, Elmer Marmerstein's birthday, 80th birthday, is coming up on the 30th of this month, and there will probably be a party. We'll probably send out emails about it. His nephew, Danny Marmerstein, was a cantor here. Elmer was a noted architect and builder, developer, quite a guy, but a Holocaust survivor who educates about the Holocaust and goes, this has been video recorded and does a lot about that. So, last thing I'm going to pass around is this commentary magazine article, Israel at Risk. We recommend that to all of you. That's about all for now, and thank you.
Okay, and Jeff is going to introduce our guest speaker for this morning. Oh wait, Lori Shapiro would like to make an announcement.
I came this morning because I got a personal phone call because it was cold and I was like, I'm going to go exercise, I'm not going to come and eat. But that personal touch, Alan, that does it, and I'm glad I came. So I just wanted to say two things. One, thank you for the lovely breakfast, but also Wednesday night we have a Rosh Chodesh group in the same room. So wine and cheese. Marcy Weissman is coming. She'll be our facilitator. If you haven't come out, please come out. It's at 7:30. You can come early for minyan. And the second thing I want to announce, in case there's anybody here who's single and feels like they want to go and meet somebody special, today there's a 7-minute schmooze with Jews. It's in North Miami. There are different times for different age groups, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. If you're interested, if you want to go meet somebody, talk to me and I'll give you the information. And go.
Good morning. Deeply rooted in the traditional Eastern Europe style of Tassanov, Cousin David Sislin began his cantorial training immediately following his bar mitzvah and was first called to lead high holiday services at the age of 15. Serving in a part-time capacity for several congregations in and around his native Washington, D.C., he eventually left a career in stage lighting and set design to devote himself to the cantorial full-time. For the past 12 years, he has served congregations in Gatlinburg, Maryland, and St. Petersburg, Florida. Chazan Sislin has many years' experience as a teacher and consultant with cantors and congregation. He's also published composer of synagogue music. He has served on the membership committee of the Cantors Assembly, as well as the editorial board of the Journal of Synagogue Music. And I'd like to introduce Cantor David Sislin.
Can everybody hear me if I just speak?
Yep.
Good. I have 7 outlines that I've sent around that can kind of let you know where I am. My presentation this morning is called Let a Song Be Your Guide, How Music Sets the Scene for Prayer. This is going to be partially history lesson, partially behind the scenes, and partially where have we ended up here at the beginning of the 21st century in the musical evolution of the way we pray. Now first we have to take a step back and see where we came from and why. Imagine watching a movie or a TV show with just the subtitles on and no soundtrack. Or if there's no background music to a movie, all you hear is the dialogue, no sound effects, none of the music in the background. Right? You can still get the story. You still understand what's going on. You understand the relationships. But there's a certain visceral part of the process which is missing. Right? We are very orally connected, and especially musically connected, to the things that we see and the things that we feel. Right? If you're riding on a boat and you hear bump, 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 you are going to take your feet out of the water. Right? If you are walking down a long corridor and all of a sudden you hear a Jedi with asthma, you are going to pull out your lightsaber and get ready for a really good fight. I was We are very tied in orally, and especially through music, to the things that we feel. Now this reality has never been a mystery to any of the world's religions. Most world religions use music in their worship somehow, whether it's a simple chant or whether it is something incredibly elaborate, incredibly sophisticated, incredibly beautiful. There's always a musical component to it. Why? Well, liturgy and ritual, especially organized liturgy and ritual, is the art of trying to take the words of the prayer, the dry words of the text, and turn them into something very spiritual and something very emotional. For some people, the words are capable of doing it on their own. For most people, they need some kind of a crutch. Adding the music helps make the words of the liturgy become a more total experience. And this reality has not been lost on any of the world's major religions, who all use some sort of musical or at least oral component to add those extra layers of depth to what they do when they're in their synagogue or their mosque or their church or whatever. Historically, music has played a very large role in Jewish prayer, even from the very beginning. Here we go with the 3-minute history of Jewish music. The first place that we see music taking a role in Jewish prayer is where? Song of the Sea, right? In the Torah. There are many examples of the Torah and in the Tanakh